Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do an October energy update, tune into what we need to know for this upcoming month. And if you are new here, the way that this works is I'm consciously channeling. So I am sharing what the guides are saying, what I'm hearing and seeing. And there will also be a different October energy update on my podcast, Christina the Channel podcast. And I always do two different ones mostly just because the guides say they want two different energy updates, and sometimes it overlaps, sometimes there's different information. So you can check that out as well when that gets posted. That will be the first episode of October. So let's get into it. And I'll also remind you, if you love these energy updates and you love channel messages, check out my membership, the Channel Collective. There is a ton of information in there, a ton of channel messages, consistent energy updates, meditations, tools, intuitive trainings, all that fun stuff. So the link for that will be in the description below. And October is going to be a month 7 in numerology for the collective. So we are in a year 6, love, relationships, the marriage, divorce here, domestic affairs, home life. And then we have this energy of the 7 for October on a collective level. I've been in a personal year 7, and let me tell you, it is no joke. There's a lot of, it's a very introspective time, reflective, like big life realizations, that sort of energy. And often a lot of divine inspiration will come through. So it's a very personal year. It's very hermit energy, very inward focused. And it's going to be interesting how that relates to the relationships. It's a lot of, like what they're saying is a lot of aha moments in terms of your relationships. And so when you have that aha moment where it really clicks, it's like the thing where we can hear something a million times and then somebody says that thing you've heard a million times and it just hits you on the right day. They say it in the right way. You are vibrationally available to hear it, because a lot of times we don't hear things because we're not vibrationally ready to. There are so many times I always crack up with a lot of my friends where they'll ask me to tune into something and I'll tell them and they're just like, yeah, I don't know. And then 5 months later, I say it again and it clicks. Like, oh my gosh, why didn't you ever tell me this before? And I'm like, I've literally been telling you this for 5 months. You just weren't ready to hear it because they weren't vibrationally ready to. So that can lead to some selective hearing. There's so much in terms of selective hearing. And it feels like when these aha moments set in, because you're spending a little more time focusing inward, that hermit energy, that self-reflection, it really sinks in, it clicks. And then there's the natural motivation, readiness that comes forth, that is, I'm ready to make the change. And so that's where actually a lot of rapid shifts come from. So often we think that rapid change comes from doing, taking action. What do I do? How do I fix this? And we're spending so much time and energy trying to figure things out and fix it that we're missing the whole point. And often the most productive thing that you can do is go inward, focus on yourself, get quiet, get silent, hermit a little bit, be in your own energy field. And all of the energy at that point can shake itself out. Things can be revealed to you rather than you looking for it. That's when things actually click, and then everything can actually move in the physical. And that is what is really cool about what we're stepping into, is we're feeling this more and more and more. And it's so cool for me to see this in every aspect, in business and careers, with money, with the physical body. And I'm going to do a whole podcast on this because I have so much to say around this with the physical body. But realizing, I feel like for a long time we could do things in a very 3D way, in a very masculine energy way. And then over the last few years, it's felt like you could kind of do it either way, in the energetic way, the more feminine energy way, the intuitive way, the way that aligns with flow, manifestation, working with energetics. That's a lot faster and easier, but you could still make it work the other way. It's just going to feel heavier and harder. As your frequency shifts, it's like the masculine energy 3D fear-based way does not fucking work. Like, it literally just doesn't work. And so if you're feeling really stuck right now, like that's what's going to be coming up. That's the universe is going to make it, your guides, your higher self is trying to protect you and guide you to a better, more aligned path by creating this energy of stuckness somewhere in your life. And it's going to be the area that really triggers you. It's going to be the area that gets your attention. So for some people that might be career, that might be business and money. For other people, it can be relationship, the emotional realm. For others, it'll be their physical body. It's like, what's going to be the thing that makes you realize I'm stuck, like nothing is moving? Because that, when you actually feel that stuckness, that is what actually forces us to surrender and go into the silence and the stillness and be with ourselves and hermit. And then the answers can be revealed, and then the energy can shift, and then everything can move. And so you don't have to have the universe push you to that stuckness, right? But I will say the stuckness is a gift because it's showing you exactly where you need to slow down and stop and go inward. But you can also just surrender willingly rather than, have your ass kicked down. So either way it works. And it's through the hermiting that the realization is going to come. It's going to click for you, and you won't be afraid to make the change. Because if there have been big changes in your life, or just big realizations that you've been trying to suppress, you just keep trying to push it down and run away from it because you're afraid, like there's an opportunity for you to actually make those shifts, or really to allow the universe to create those shifts in a very easy, effortless, beautiful way where you're not afraid if you just allow the energy to move, right? So it's all of the resistance and the avoidance and running away that is making everything worse and creating this continuous feeling of being stuck. And so what happens is it's like, the universe is bringing up all these signs everywhere, right? Which can be through your emotions, it can be through social dynamics. It's like, what is this boomerang energy? What theme keeps coming back into your life? The universe is like, look over here, right? And that is your path to enlightenment. That is your path to something like bigger and better. And that, whatever that boomerang energy is, like, this is the month where it's finally going to hit ahead, and you get to surrender into it and actually shift this pattern, because we're really like breaking a lot of these energies that have been holding us back, even when we're holding on to it from our ego, from our fear, because we can't see the better way. And you're going to have to jump in before you know what's on the other side. That's what it is really to manifest. People ask me this all the time, and it's like, I have had to get used to. People think that I'm confident making big life shifts because I know what's coming. No, I don't. I don't for myself. I don't see it like that. That's the initiation. That's the growth, is I'm jumping into a black hole. I don't know what the hell is there, but I know what's here isn't working. So we're just going to see. And then once I get there, then I see it. And I'm like, oh, thank God I did that. Right. But what happens is we keep having this boomerang energy, these patterns that are coming back around. And that's the opportunity to go into it and do the work, or however you want to say it, right? Like, bust apart the fear, face ourselves, learn about ourselves, expand, grow, elevate, make a quantum leap if you go into it. But whatever that boomerang thing is, it's because it keeps coming up, and then you get there and you meet it, and then you run away from it. You run away from the work, right? And then it comes back in another form, another manifestation, and then you get there, and then you're like, and then you run away from it and you focus elsewhere, right? And so this goes back to this idea of distracting ourselves with different problems. Like, whenever you don't want to face this problem over here, that's the real problem, I'm going to focus on this thing over here, and this is wrong, and I need to figure out this problem, because I can distract myself and I don't have to deal with that, right? And so this month, you got to face it. It's time to move this apart. This is leading to so much exhaustion energetically when there's all of this stuff in the background, in your energy field, in your consciousness, in your subconscious, that is weighing you down. That's the stuff this is, what this is? This is fear of self. This is fear of being and embodying your highest self. And so whatever pattern keeps coming back around, you have to trust, it's because the universe is giving you the gift of, this is what you look at and you move through and you face and you address, to step into your power and to embody your highest self. So are you willing to step into your power? That is the question. October. And it really is, this is very similar to what they said in the podcast. I'm not going to go too far into it, but October has this really beautiful energy of it's this liminal stage, and I'm obsessed with this. I'm literally obsessed with this topic. I took so many classes on this topic in college. The liminal stage, the energy of that, this transition, the veil is so thin around Halloween, right? November 1st. And it's this reconnection with ancestors and loved ones. It's your higher self being like, I'm right here. And we have this opportunity to bridge these worlds right now, right? And so you can think about it as, it's the higher aspects of yourself are so ready to be integrated. The veil is so thin, it's right there. It's right there. I see the hologram. It's encompassing It's encompassing me. It's all around me. It's my higher self. It's right there. All I have to say is, yes, I accept. And then my higher self integrates in. And I can live as that version of me. And so what's your fear underneath that, right? So it is a really, really beautiful time for us to make big shifts and really let go of all of the old stuff. And that doesn't have to be such a process. And that's one of the big things that we want to get across is, where have you bought into the illusion, or you're continuing to live in the pattern or story that to make big life shifts, to shift your identity, to live as your truest self, to heal things, it has to be some big ordeal and some big process, because it actually can shift instantaneously if you are in allowance of that. Are you allowing that to happen? How is it being some big ordeal actually serving you? Is that because, okay, then I have an excuse not to go into it? And I'm afraid to go into it because I know on the other side I'm going to drop these relationships, or I'm going to want to leave my job, or I'm actually going to need to be vulnerable in my relationships, or whatever that fear is, right? And so this energy of running has to be dissolved. We can't run anymore. That's when we really step into our power, is when we stop running and we stand still. And this is, think about the energy of this, looking at yourself in the mirror, standing in front of the mirror and looking at yourself. Right? Mirror work is some of the most powerful work we can do. And the energy of that in your life, this is something that comes up all the time in terms of manifestation blocks, and particularly relationships. And so this could be with friendships, this could be with business partnerships, and this is also in love. And this is, people are running around so quickly, and that could be in your mind. Your mind is running so quickly. You're physically moving around all the time. You're just bopping around, you have all these projects, and you're never standing still so that the thing that is looking for you, that which desires you, can never find you. Right? So if you're trying to manifest a relationship and you're always bopping around, you're never standing still for a moment, then that thing cannot find you because you're always moving. It's like trying to grab it. It's like whack-a-mole. Trying to grab it and just run around all over, right? Man, I feel like these cards are just irrelevant at this point because we could just go on. It's 222. Wow. You got to love that. 222 is big message for me. I actually have this is so random, but I'm just bringing this in. My next book is coming out in the next couple of months, and it's a poetry book. I'm really excited. You'll love it. And I have a poem that's called 222. Sneak peek. Okay. Open the door. Shift your money mindset and embrace change. It's so funny because the money mindset thing has been coming up so much. If you're in the membership, we talked about this in one of the last energy healing sessions of like, they're just, and I have been channeling so much around business and money mindset, because raising wealth consciousness right now in our relationship with money is so important, because there's going to be an energy shift and an opportunity for people who are really holding light and anchoring light to receive a lot of money. So we've got to be ready. Like, we have to be ready to receive it, because it's about shifting the finances into people's hands who are vibrating with love and who know how to be stewards of it, know how to circulate money. And like, that's where we can actually shift the financial system, is when money gets in different people's hands, and something's going to happen where it's coming. Like, the universe wants to send you money. And so if you are not prepared to be a good steward for money, take care of it, know how to circulate it and feel confident there, if you are still running away from money, if you're demonizing it, if you're saying that it doesn't want to hang out, doesn't want to be with you, it doesn't want to support you, then we got to work on that, right? Because this is part of what you're here to heal. And if you're somebody who already does have a lot of resources, are you using these properly? And I will say, I work with a lot of clients who do have a lot of resources, and one of the aspects of where they're still feeling unfulfilled and they're feeling like, what is my purpose and why am I here? I have everything I thought I always wanted, and I'm still feeling like lacking, right? Because having more money doesn't make you feel fulfilled. But there is an aspect of that. I'm still seeking, I'm still looking, even though I have all these resources, which is because you're not feeling fulfilled in how you're circulating or using your money, right? And there's this thing that, like, when we are in alignment in our lives, we feel like, okay, I'm on the right track. And that's going to look different for everybody. But when we're feeling confident, flowing with, working with money, which is its own energy, bring money onto your council, onto your spirit guide team. I have a video I made a couple weeks ago about, it was a channel message about abundance and money. Like, we have to work on this right now. And I will say, resources on my end, I have the Abundance Accelerator course and then the Manifestation Activation set around money. check out, get either one of those or both of those. Like, this work has to be done, because shifting your relationship with money is going to shift your relationship with yourself, your self-worth, your confidence. This is how you're going to manifest in relationships you want. This is about your body and your physical health. And it's interesting because in terms of the steps with physical ascension, it's a very physical process, but there's an emotional, energetic detox process. And shifting your relationship with money and wealth and abundance is a prerequisite for the physical body to upgrade and to ascend. So if you're having physical symptoms, these are showing you places where we're still in lack energy, or there's things to be healed. And money is a big piece here. So we've got to focus on this. Which one do you want? October. Wow. Okay. We're going places. October energy. What else? What else do you want? October. New people coming in, elevated people coming in who are stretching you and expanding you. And anywhere where you are in environments, in circles where people are not supporting you in your expansion to your higher self, it's going to feel so stale and like cringy and like I'm trapped here. We got to get out of it, right? So that stuff is like whatever you've been avoiding there, it's really going to come up. Oh my God. Oh, I have chills. This lion keeps coming up. Courage. Happiness. Blue butterfly. Courage, happiness, commitment. I love this commitment card. This came up on one of the recent high energy healing calls too, and like this energy of commitment. And we're looking at, where am I not in the energy of commitment, right? Because this is where we deflect love. This is where we deflect money, because we can't commit. And so think about within yourself, am I committed to living as my highest self? What am I telling myself I want to create or do? And I'm not in an energy of commitment around it, right? Because that energy shows up in all different aspects of our lives. And why is it easier for me to commit to some things and not to other things? But it's really interesting because people will think, I want a committed relationship, and I'm trying to attract in a committed relationship. And then I'm like, well, you're not committing to your business. You're not committing to your personal growth. You're not committing to your health, right? So you're not in the energy of commitment. We have to be in the energy of commitment if we want to attract in and more of commitment energy, right? And so it's like the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And so if you're showing up this way in one area of your life, you're in avoidance energy, you're afraid to commit, you're afraid to, be seen. I can't put myself out there. I don't want to share that. And then you're trying to attract in that exact same thing in a different area of your life. Don't be surprised when it doesn't come in. So what this energy is really like in October, it's all this stuff is going to smack us across the face of like, these are the final holes to fill in. These are the final wounds to heal. This is the final stuff to let go of. And it's just been building. And this is your opportunity to step into happiness very quickly. It's in just releasing all this old stuff and taking this leap, like jumping into this space of the void, jumping into this space of, this is the new me. I don't even know who that is, but it's going to be the new me and it's going to be better, right? And so it's just the way that we have been doing things before is not going to work anymore. And this is going to be true for everybody. It gets to continue to upgrade. This is a new cycle that we're stepping into, and this is happening through October. And so it really is about, they keep showing me snakes, like they're like shedding off the old layer and allowing yourself to get to know yourself again, right? So if I could say anything about October, it is take time for yourself. Take time, extra time to journal, to meditate, to do the practices that I map out every week in the Channel Collective. Like, show up to that spiritual fitness schedule. Take more time to be by yourself. Maybe take a weekend to yourself. Like, do less to create more. The less you do and the more you're with yourself this month, the more energy can shift and move, and everything that's been trying to come in for you, that you've been trying to manifest, can actually drop in. But whatever answers you've been trying to look for, you're not going to find them by looking for them. You're going to find them by simply being and existing and allowing the universe to reveal them to you. So that's what I want to say about October. Leave a comment below and let me know if this resonates and what's coming up for you, what you're feeling. Hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy this video, and be sure to subscribe if you have not already so that you never miss a future one. All right, it's going to be a great October. I'm setting that intention and I'm excited to see what shakes out. So thanks again for watching, sending you lots of love, and I will talk to you very soon.